Hello? Ooh. Hi, sorry for the wait. So, shall we begin? Okay. So, last Centerfold we did a short talk about how we don't know anything about origami. So we thought we would repeat this time. But this time we have some perspective. So it's been 2 years. We have learned nothing, but we have learned how to fake a lot better. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't check the transitions, so this is going to be slow. So this introduction is if you don't know who we are. We're a group of 4 people that do origami design. And that's what we do, all we do. We're not artists. We're not. We like to design origami, and origami has kind of saved our lives because work and that stuff gets in the way of enjoying life, and origami has helped us enjoy life a lot better. So what we do is, well, yeah, don't worry. There's kind of a point to most of what we do. So why did OAS begin? We began because we had no clue how to design origami. We liked folding origami. Some of us had designed some models. Some of us had designed many models. Some of us had folded only frogs. And some of us had folded one model. And we thought, oh, this creation thing looks interesting. Let's try to do that. But we didn't know how to. So we came up with an idea that because we like, it was not a complex idea. We like going to bars and drinking beers. So we thought, let's do that. Let's do origami there. And that's what we did. So we set up an origami folding challenge every week. It's just the 4 of us. We're not an open group. We're not looking for new members. We like to meet new people in bars, and because it gives you a nice view of how other people that are not into origami see origami. And we don't have many rules about what is origami. So the first one, the challenge every week was because if you fail often, you don't overthink what you're doing. You just get used to it. And if you get used to it, it's a lot better. There's no suffering when you fail. So we're a close group because we like to have a good time. And meeting new people is, so some people will see some model that you folded and they'll say, oh, that's fantastic. Is it a sheep? And then it's not. And if you have rules, then the rules will set the way that you're walking. So we thought, we want to walk a new way, so let's have no rules. And of course, because we like to have fun. So this is us, and we like you a lot. Okay. So this is very, very well prepared.
So 3 years ago in our last talk, we were trying to encourage people to design, and we realized that maybe we encourage it too much or something. We have gone too far, so let's go some steps back. And I wanted to talk about paper flow instead of paper folding. So, and there is perfect origami that rarely we find it. And beside perfect origami, we have origami that is good to show and origami that is good to fold. And if it's good to show and it's good to fold, it's perfect. If it's not good to show or not good to fold, it's not origami. So here we have 2 different processes when it's not perfect. And you can recognize in every one of them, yeah, we are used to know that one thing is the result and the other is the process. I think I don't need to explain further. There is one that gives you a fast recognition because it's to be watched, and there are more people ready to watch than ready to fold. And yeah, origami that looks good, it's good for museums or expos. And there is another one that is good for bars. We will kind of expand of that later. Yeah, nice origami, nice cover for a book. The other one is nice for a workshop because you like to share and people like to enjoy the process. And one is as a challenge that I'm not sure is good, and the other is seen as an enjoyment. And well, you just have to, I don't know, you just have to think which one do you prefer. I think in my case, after the point number 3, it's quite clear. But okay, let's just check every one of them. So imagine enjoying life under this spirit. For example, peeling a fruit. Yeah, this is a watermelon. Yes. Or playing in the beach, playing with sand in the beach. Yeah. Or baking a cake. Yeah. Yeah. It's like we don't need to be Van Gogh for making a cake, right? So I think in a high self-exposure, mega-complex, competitive, narcissistic-oriented society, the only answer is flow, baby, flow. So I think just origami with flow will change that state of mind. And it's quick, it's feasible, balanced, direct, and you don't need tools or tedious things to do with your folding. So this is, it's not a universal truth. Everybody has to find their own flow or what flow means. But in my case, I think if there is a lot of pre-creasing, I get very tired. And I think direct origami now, I enjoy it much more. I try to do 22.5 degrees origami. It's hard to me, but I'm trying. Also, the flow is about the steps and how the one step comes after another. And it's not easy. I think origami with flow doesn't mean easy origami. But somehow it's balanced on their effort. Every stage, every step is balanced to the others. Also about the mistake tolerance, I think origami with flow, just free yourself and you don't have to confront every step as a challenge for yourself and your precision. And well, I think shaping is an art, but it's a different art. So I prefer that a model looks good completely raw, but shaping is very nice. I'm not against shaping. And that's all for my part.
Okay, 1 second. This. Okay, now we are going to go straight to the space, to the three-dimensional space, and how to learn this three-dimensional of the. Let's start. That's the title. You have read it. I'm just getting into the room and the mic. Okay, abstract. Let's say that you want to design a model, or you want to analyze or criticize an existing one, or you want to figure out what is your current tendency, your main focus, or the results that you get. How are they? For this, the first thing that we are going to learn now is how to locate in a point in the three-dimensional space of OASness. Okay. When we get this, we can say, we can think how to get to a better or more OASer point of a space. Okay, so it's a three-dimensional space. So we have three axes. First axis is complexity, from very simple to all the complexity you want to add. Okay. Also, as here we are, everybody has, there are a lot of people doing origami and a lot of models. I will try to locate not an origami model, but another thing that also, so the people don't say, oh, my model is used here or whatever. So let's focus on a fantastical creature, the best creature ever existed. For example, Johann Sebastian Bach. That will be the focus of our of our theme. I have looked a bit in Google if there is many origami based on Bach. It's an open an open challenge. So let's say we are going to do a portrait of Johann Sebastian Bach, and let's say that is the middle point. It's not so complex or so simple. For example, that will be a simplest model, or this really complex. As we have seen, all are Johann Sebastian Bach in a way. It's better to be complex, maybe not. So let's go to the second axis. This is how do you like this, or if you do something that makes you say whoa when you see it, okay? Or if your result is ugly or not so good or just crap. Okay, that could be, you tried to do a Johann Sebastian Bach, but the result was not so good. In the other way, you can say, have something that has something that appeals you and that say, okay, that is Johann Sebastian Bach, but in a way I never expected. Okay, so let's go to the third axis. This intuition against thinking, about preparing and to this, it's about how do you design it, by preparing, thinking a base, a crisp pattern, or if you are going to take a paper and begin to fold and follow your instinct, your intuition, or your way to do. So, for example, here we have a portrait of Johann Sebastian Bach. The picture you cannot see very well, but it has a score under it, and it has some waves of color that maybe suppose something to the painter, but it's having information that maybe it's not needed here. But instead of this, we say, no, I want to make a Bach in a different way, more intuitive. I will say, for example, this one, I'll be back. Just saying, I'll be back, I want to be back, pues so I will be back. Like, that's it, that's what I want to do. Okay, so the three axes, but we can have points everywhere, not just a line on the line. So, for example, from the I'll be back, we can do a more complex version or a more simple. So let's see, for example, another approach. Of course, you can get more complex and add it a new layer of meaning, or just be simple and straight and fun. That was the point. So maybe you don't need to go very, very complex. So you can have here all the things that you can imagine. Also, for example, we have here the bottom an ugly simple, and so on. Okay. So in conclusion, now you can take a model of your own and analyze and say, okay, Is it overthinked? It was made by intuition. I am happy with the result or not? And I'll also say the complexity. Let's keep going. For us, as more intuitive, simple, and beautiful the model is, we say that it becomes OAS. Okay. So as I was saying also, if you want to make something complex, just do it for a good cause, not just to add hours of folding and more pre-creasing and or the detail that you are going to add is worth the complexity that it adds to the model, or it doesn't. And if you want to prefer to think that to follow intuition, just think as reuse all thoughts. Don't start from scratch everything, and everything you learn something, just allow it to flow from your head, like if you were having a flashback. You are reusing these things that you thought. You are reusing it in an intuitive way. Just let's say it is intuitive. So just this, reuse your own thoughts as having a flashback. Okay. That's the true meaning of this. Wait. See. Next one. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the difference between folded paper and folding paper. I will read some of the ideas of them, but I will introduce some new concepts, I expect. I hope. Okay, I start from a very simple idea, as Enrique says. What do we like from origami? We like to fold. We like to create new models, and we like to people become origami friendly. We do this in two ways: by folding and giving models as presents to people, and also achieving that other people fold our models. And as you know, we like to do it in bars mainly, but there are two counterparts, for me at least, not for them. For example, Oriol likes diagramming. Diagramming for me, it's boring, and teaching to children in classroom, I mean, not teaching in a convention. I like teaching in a convention, but not in children's classrooms. Okay, but we like to fold good models. And how do you call a model it's good? You have to classify, you need some factors. Just Joel has made this OAS space, 3D space, and with 3 axes. The 3 axes are beauty, design, complexity. We can resume like that. But as you know, we live in a 3D space, but there is a 4th dimension. The other 4th dimension is time. So time plus origami means the folding sequence. And that was what Oriol was speaking about, the flow of folding a model. So what do you think? Which is the best, the most important factor from those 4? There are other factors. I only put those 4. I think they are the most important. I think it depends on what you are. It depends if you are a person that you don't fold, you are a folder, or you are a person that creates new models. For a person that doesn't fold, mainly he only looks at models for his beauty. He doesn't care about design, if it well designed or the folding sequence. He doesn't know about that. Maybe he cares about the complexity. Oh, this must be very complex. But that's all. For a folder, oh, excuse me. Vale, ya está. Thank you. For a folder, I think he also cares about beauty, but he doesn't think the model has to be very nice. If it's nice, it's okay, but his folder, I think he cares about the folding sequence, about the flow of the folding. He also cares about the complexity, because if there are folds that are too complex for him or her, he won't fold it. And if the folds are too simple, he will be worried folding that. And maybe he will care about the design, but I think he doesn't care too much. And what about creators? Well, you are creators, most of you. Which do you think, which is the most important thing, factor? Those factors: beauty, complexity, design, folding sequence. Okay, I don't care. I will say. Excuse me. I will say my preferences. My preferences are. I like models that are nice and have a good folding sequence. A model that is nice but that has a bad folding sequence, for me, is a bad model, like that. I also care about complexity, because I want to achieve that many people fold my models. So I try to simplify as much as I could my models. And there is also another reason, because not introducing many complexity in my models. The reason is very simple. It's very straightforward. It's because I'm not very good designing. I also care about the design. I try to do good designs, but this is the last important thing for me. So this is all the crux. This is all I wanted to say to you. For me, a good model is a model that looks nice and has a good folding sequence, because I want that people have fun folding the models. So the consequences, the conclusion is very straightforward. If you want that people fold your model following your folding sequence, you need to diagram them or to make workshops. So diagrams and workshops are very important. At least much more than Chris patterns, because Chris pattern says nothing about the folding sequence. Maybe our design, but not about the folding sequence. And I think that folding sequences are also important, because they encourage people to become folders and folders to become creators. And just to last my part of the speech, I said that we like to fold models and give to people. The vast majority of my models I give to people as presents. I don't keep many folded figures, models in my house. So it's good to give origami models as presents, but many times you find that the people who give it says this is only folded and wrapped paper. There is another way to arrive to people, which is to fold the model in front of him and then give it as a present. And he will see which is the folding process, which is more important. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about origami aesthetics with an A because it's cuter. What? That shouldn't have been there. I mean, it's a surprise. So why do I fold? Some people think I fold because I'm an artist, which I'm not. I aim to be more of a clown. But in search of origami beauty, let's see what I did last year. I didn't design anything last year, and not for lack of trying. I mean, I tried to design a wolf, a sheep, a Tasmanian devil, a dragon, a shark, a cat, and several more other things. Some of them were OAS challenges. Some of them I set for myself because I like to suffer. And I failed at all of them. And I don't really care too much about that. Because I enjoy origami. I mean, I don't really care about the end result. But the main reason I failed about this, I mean, I've been designing origami models for like 6 years now? Yeah, 6 years. So now, when we started, it was like, oh, I have this 3-legged ant. It's fantastic, because it was more than 2 legs. Now I can make 6 legs, and I can make 2 horns, 3 tails. I can make any number of parts, but I cannot get it to look nice. And that prompts the question, so what's beauty? How do you say, oh, by the way, this talk has 0 content. So don't expect great revelations. So for me, this is my favorite origami models of all that I have folded. But like my favorite origami model, right? But it seems to be that other people don't think the same about my models. So nobody likes that model. I think it's fantastic, but nobody says, oh yeah, no, I like your lion. So I think from this you can conclude that the maximums of beauty are not the same for everyone. And I apologize in advance. So this kind of origami is my least favorite kind of origami, like the absolute worst. And this picture I took from the internet. I found no attribution. I looked for Creative Commons, so I hope it is in the Creative Commons. And I took this picture, I chose this picture because it's like not as painful as I always think this is. But, I mean, that's what I consider the worst thing in origami. But other people don't think like that. Some people really like that kind of origami. So we can conclude that the minimums don't match among everyone either. So, should we say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder and just lay it there? Well, it depends. If beauty is continuous, then some point they are going to meet, and then that's the point that there might be a sweet spot for beauty. But if everyone goes there, then everything becomes very boring. So I would say you should just fold what you like and hope other people like it. But don't care about that too much. So don't do it. And this is just an afterthought. I am especially sensitive about artists and art. I don't like the concept at all. So, and please keep in mind that I'm an engineer and limited by semantic expression of emoji. So if we call this beauty, I think beauty plus intention is what makes art. if we are going to accept that art exists. So, well, that if you have art without beauty, then you only have intention. And if you have beauty minus art, you're getting no intention at all. There's no intent there. This is the same thing. But we already said beauty is relative. So if art is relative, what's the meaning of art? So I wouldn't worry too much about art either. So look for beauty. And there you have it. Thank you. Any questions?
What do you consider as simple? Because I look at the book of Oriol, I don't think all the models are...
You will find we are very relativistic in our thinking. So it depends on you. If you're challenged by doing some kinds of folds, then those kinds of folds are not simple.
For sure, my idea of simplicity is not the same than the one by Shuki Kato, for example.
You find simple the tessellation, right?
Another way of saying what is simple is the concept of the 15 rule, the 15 by 15 by 15. A kami 15 centimeters that can be folded in 15 minutes. If you are very good and very fast, you can do lots of things in 15 minutes. So the complexity or simplicity also depends on your skill. And so as soon as you can fold it in 15 minutes and in a 15 kami paper, maybe we can say it's simple, at least for you.
And more than 15% if the wall have to be able to fold.
Ah, that's the fourth dimension. That's right.
Other question? You know this.
The man is clip art that we bought. It's paid for, so we are allowed to use it. Then the crane we drew, because we are also allowed to modify it. And the crane, I think, is Uriol's.
Yes.
And the snorkel is Mark's. And the thank you is just courtesy.
It's from a Fallout game, video game.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, the artist signed it with her name.
Very lookalike.
Okay, maybe.
Fallout, actually. The idea is for people to ask questions. You have to ask something. Doesn't matter what. We have 20 minutes for asking.
Plenty of time.
Simple question because it's ours.
I have a question. In a bar, drinking beer, do you eat peanuts?
Sometimes.
No. Do you eat peanuts?
Sometimes.
Because
If they are free.
you will have dirty.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So, a rule of OAS is to fold with dirty fingers.
Well, dirty everything. I mean, if you put the paper on the table, it will get stuck.
This was my question. I was worrying about this. I cannot join you.
For you to join. I didn't catch it quite. What does OAS stand for?
Origami always succeed. It's also a terrorist group in Algeria, but
Okay, then I would like to get home in one piece, if I may.
You need a talent to be an OAS member.
a talent.
There is
Well,
say the rule.
no, we don't say the rule.
I don't think the rule. Okay. You don't have rules.
We don't have rules. No, that's no.
Drinking? Contest in order to be...
No, I mean, it's, you will enjoy it more because the later it gets in the night, if you're not drinking, the stupider we become. So,
The more beautiful the models will be, the later they...
only for the people that are drinking, yeah. No, I mean, it's not a requirement. And it's not always, well, maybe, yeah, it always happens. But it's not the objective.
Are you ever proposing, because now you are drinking the beer and combining
combining beer with origami. Yeah, we've done wet folding with beer. We've done that. We've also accidentally wet folded models with beer. But we once did it on purpose. And the results were not good. So I wouldn't recommend it. Well, they're not very complex ideas. I mean, you know the big joust of origami that they have like really complex themes, like the man behind the door holding the lollipop. Ours are wolf, cat, dog. So not difficult.
We choose.
We take turns.
Yes. And maybe we accept challenges from waiters from the bar.
Yeah, if someone comes along and says, "Oh, this is very nice," they join us, and we ask. The Tasmanian devil was from a very nice family in Australia that we met in a bar in Lyon.
So I have a question. So is the venue important? The bar? Do you have a regular meeting place?
Answer that, please.
We have a tendency to close bars. Yeah, to ruin, bankrupt.
Like they get closed and then open the next day. They close and never open again. we had a few meeting places that we were regular to, and all of them have closed. But yeah, it should be dark, because if you can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have done with you at the bars, and I think really encourages creativity, is the 5 minutes challenge, which you pick up someone in the bar and he has to say something, whatever, love or snake or whatever word he wants to say. And you have to create that thing in 5 minutes. And so the group starts to create, and in 5 minutes, some people really comes out with something interesting.
Yep.
Most of the things are crap, but
Because the first time you play that game, not you, I mean everybody, you try to really fall something. And you fail because you have no time.
If you start folding
If you-
a bird base,
Yeah. So it's when you realize that you have to trust in your ideas and creativity and don't try to fold is when you pass the next stage. Yeah. Level up.
Thank you.